I stopped sleeping because I wake up somewhere else. I'm writing this at 4:12 a.m., not because I can't sleep, because I'm afraid of where I'll wake up if I do. It didn't start like a horror story. It never does. It started with exhaustion. I was working double shifts at the warehouse. Night loading, morning unloading. Coffee stopped working. My hands shook when I held a pen. First time it happened, I thought I was sleepwalking. Went to bed in my apartment. Second floor, one bedroom, door locked, chain on. I woke up standing barefoot in my bathroom. Light on, mirror fog. My feet were wet, like I'd been standing there for a while. I laughed it off. Stress does strange things. Second time I woke up in my kitchen, sitting on the floor, back against the fridge, holding my phone in my hand. Screen cracked. Didn't remember dropping it. By the third time, I stopped laughing. I woke up outside, middle of the street. 3:06 a.m. Cold asphalt against my cheek. Car horn blaring inches from my head. The driver screamed at me. I couldn't even answer him, because taped to my jacket, with blue painter's tape, was a folded piece of paper. 3 words, written carefully. You came here on your own. I stopped sleeping after that. I tried everything. Caffeine, cold showers, sleeping pills, then flushing them down the toilet. Didn't matter. If my eyes closed long enough, my body would leave. It escalated. I woke up in places that didn't make sense. A locked storage unit. Padlock, still sealed from the outside. Closed church basement, lights off, air heavy with dust and old prayers. Once, I woke up sitting on a park bench, watching the sun rise like I'd been there all night. Every time, a note was there. Different paper, different pen, same message. You came here on your own. I went to a doctor. Sleep disorder, he said. Parasomnia, extreme stress. He asked if I'd ever hurt myself. I told him no. It was a lie. Because wherever I woke up, my body showed signs of effort. Scraped knuckles, bruised knees, sore legs like I'd walked for miles. Once there was dried blood under my fingernails. Not mine. I live alone. Or at least, I thought I did. The turning point came when I stopped waking up in random places. I started waking up in the same place. An unfinished house on the edge of town. No address, no listings. Just concrete floors, exposed beams, and a single room upstairs with no windows. The first time I woke there, I panicked. The second time, I noticed something. The room was changing. Scratches on the wall, tally marks, carved with something sharp, grouped in 4s. I counted them. 28. I realized, with a slow, sick certainty, they weren't days. They were nights. The number of times I'd slept. The number of times I'd come back here. Last night I didn't fight it. I let myself sleep. I woke up, standing in that room, in front of the far wall. There was something new carved there. Not tallies, words, my handwriting. I recognized the slant, the uneven pressure. It said, "This is where you go when you stop pretending you want to stay alive." I don't remember writing that, but my hands were sore. And on the floor beside me was the knife from my kitchen, clean. It had been washed and returned. I understand it now. I'm not being taken anywhere. I'm not possessed, not cursed. I'm going where some part of me wants to go. A place without time, without work, without pretending everything is fine. That house isn't unfinished. It's waiting for me to finish something. Tonight, I'm going to stay awake. I always say that. The room upstairs has 29 marks now, which means I've already slept. I don't remember falling asleep. I remember sitting on the edge of my bed, shoes still on, light burning my eyes. I remember telling myself I would stay awake. Then I was standing, concrete under my feet. That house again, the unfinished one, Same room upstairs. Same smell. Dust. Old wood. Something metallic underneath it. Tally marks were still there, but there was a new one. 30. I stared at it for a long time. My chest felt tight, like I'd been running. I checked my hands. Dirt under the nails. Thin cut across my palm, already scabbed. I didn't scream. I didn't panic. That scared me more than anything else, because it felt familiar, like coming back to a place I used to hate and realizing I no longer hated it. I started exploring the house. I don't know why I hadn't before. Downstairs was empty. No furniture, no wires, no doors inside, just open frames. The walls were marked. Not words, not tallies, handprints, some small, some large, some overlapping, all pressed into the concrete like it had been soft once. I touched one, my fingers fit perfectly into the grooves. That's when I noticed something else. The corner of the living room floor was darker than the rest. Stain. I crouched down. The stain wasn't old. It was recent. When I woke up the next morning, I was in my bed. Sheets twisted, jaw aching. I checked my phone. 3 missed calls. 1 voicemail from my own number. I didn't play it. I already knew what it would say. I stopped going to work. It didn't matter anymore. Time didn't feel right when I was awake. Like the hours were thinner, stretched. When I slept, everything felt solid, real. I started leaving myself things, notes, recordings, marks on my arm, just to prove continuity, just to prove I wasn't losing entire pieces of myself. It didn't work. Every time I woke in the house, something had been moved, improved. The place was being organized. On the 33rd night, the room upstairs was different. There was a chair, wooden, simple, facing the far wall. I didn't sit in it. I didn't need to. I knew what it was for. On the wall, beneath the tallies, someone had carved a sentence. Not my handwriting. Cleaner, straighter. It said, "You're almost done resisting." I felt something then, not fear, relief, and that terrified me. I tried to destroy the place. Next night, I brought fire. Gasoline siphoned from my car, a lighter in my pocket. I poured it across the floor, soaked the walls, the stairs. My hands shook, not from fear, from urgency, like I was late. When I lit the match, the flame caught and went out. Just out. No smoke, no heat. The gasoline was gone. The floor was clean. Behind me, I heard breathing. Not loud, not threatening. It was close. I didn't turn around. I didn't have to. The next morning, I woke up on my couch, TV on, volume low. The news was playing. A story about a man found dead in an abandoned structure on the edge of town, unidentified. No missing persons report matched him. The camera panned past the body, blurred, covered. I recognized the jacket. Mine. Checked myself. I was breathing, heart beating. Something felt lighter. The pressure had been lifted. That night, for the first time in weeks, I slept without fighting it. I woke up in the house. This time, I wasn't standing. I was sitting in the chair, facing the wall. The tallies were gone. All of them. Replaced by one word. Carved deep, careful, permanent. Here. For the first time since this began, I didn't try to leave. I don't know how long I sat there. Time behaves differently in that house. It doesn't move forward. It settles. It stood up eventually. The chair scraped softly against the floor, like it had been waiting for that sound. The word on the wall, "Here," was still there. I touched it. The grooves were warm, not metaphorically. Actually warm, like skin after friction. I started noticing details I hadn't before. The house wasn't unfinished. It was mid-process. The walls upstairs were smoother than the ones below. The stairs didn't creak anymore. The air felt thicker, heavier, like insulation had been added. Sound didn't travel well. When I spoke, my voice died inches from my mouth. "Hello?" I said once. The house didn't echo. It listened. I stopped waking up in my apartment. I still remember it. Couch, cracked phone, sink that leaked. It feels like remembering someone else's place. Now when I wake up, it's always there. Always upstairs. Always that room. Sometimes the chair is closer to the wall, sometimes farther back. Sometimes there's dust on the floor. Sometimes there isn't. I stopped counting nights. The house already did that for me. One time I found a door. It hadn't been there before. Plain wood, no handle on my side, just a shallow dent where a handle should be. I pressed my ear against it. I could hear movement, slow, careful, like someone trying not to be noticed. I stepped back. The door was gone when I looked again. I don't wake up tired anymore. My body feels rested, efficient, like it's finally doing what it was meant to do. I don't dream. I remember. Long walks I don't recall taking. Conversations I don't remember starting. Faces I know without names. Sometimes I catch myself standing in corners of the house, hands pressed flat against the walls, feeling for something. I never find it, but I keep checking. The first mirror appeared on what I think was a later night, leaning against the wall, full length, old. The glass was slightly warped. I stood in front of it. The reflection was me, mostly. Same face, same eyes. The posture was different, straighter, calmer. The reflection didn't copy me exactly. Moved a second too late, not like before, slower, deliberate. I raised my hand. It watched. Then, it raised its own. When I woke again, there was a sound downstairs. A new sound. Footsteps, not mine. I stayed where I was. The steps moved slowly, testing the floor, learning it. They stopped at the base of the stairs. I waited, breathing quiet. The steps came up, one at a time. The house didn't creak under the weight. The doorway darkened. Something stood there, not fully inside, not fully out. It didn't speak. It didn't need to. I understood what it was for. The next morning, if it was morning, I was standing in front of the wall again. The word "here" was gone. In its place, there were two words now, carved at eye level. Neat. Certain. You stay. I nodded. Not because I was told to, because there was nowhere else left to wake up. I nodded again. Not out loud, just inside. The house felt it. Something in the walls shifted. Slow, satisfied. Like a deep breath being let out after holding it too long. Footsteps never came back. Instead, there were sounds. Soft ones. The kind you don't notice until they stop. A low hum in the walls. A distant settling like wood adjusting to weather that doesn't exist. Occasionally, faint tapping. Irregular. Patient. I stopped wondering where the other thing had gone. I knew it was doing what I had been doing before, learning. The house began to give me routines. Not rules. Routines. When I stood in the corner long enough, the air grew warmer. When I sat in the chair, the light softened. When I touched the walls, the ache in my body eased. I didn't question it. I hadn't questioned much lately. One night I found food. A plate on the floor downstairs. Plain. Simple. Bread. Water. I ate. The hunger vanished instantly. Not just from my stomach, but from my thoughts. After that, I stopped remembering meals from before. Stopped remembering hunger at all. Sometimes I hear voices, not calling me, talking, muffled, far away, like conversations through thick walls, different tones, different rhythms, some angry, some pleading, some quiet in a way that feels permanent. I never try to listen closely. The house prefers it that way. I found another mark on the wall, not carved, pressed, a full outline of a body, human-shaped, indented just enough to be unmistakable. The concrete around it was smooth, polished, cared for. I placed my hand inside the outline. It fit perfectly. There was a moment, brief, sharp, and something old tried to surface. A memory of sunlight, of traffic noise, of a name someone used to call me. It hurt. The house responded immediately. Walls warmed, hum deepened, the memory dissolved. I was grateful. I don't know how many rooms there are now. More than before, less than there will be. The unfinished house keeps finishing itself, and I help, without tools, without effort, just by being where I'm needed. Tonight, the chair is gone. In its place, there's a shallow recess in the wall, human-sized, waiting. Concrete is warm again. I stand in front of it. I don't hesitate. I don't think about sleep. I think about stillness. I step forward. The house closes around me gently, like it's always known my shape, like it's been practicing. For the first time, I wake up exactly where I am supposed to be. The pressure isn't painful. That's the first thing I notice. The wall doesn't crush or squeeze. It accepts, like warm clay settling around a mold. I can still breathe. Barely. The house adjusts to that too. At first I panic. It's instinct. Leftover. My chest tightens, fingers twitch, nails scrape uselessly against smooth concrete. The sound is dull, unimportant. The house doesn't react. It waits. And then, slowly, panic fades. Not because I fight it, because there's no room for it anymore. Time stops behaving like time. There's no before or after here. Just now, stretched thin and wide. I feel things pass through me, not objects, impressions, regret, anger, exhaustion so deep it feels ancient. They don't stay. They're not mine anymore. The house is taking inventory. I remember my name for a moment. It feels foreign, like a label on an old box. I try to say it. My mouth moves. No sound comes out. The house hums, low and steady. Approval. Something presses against the outside of the wall. Another outline. Another presence. Not touching me? Aligning. I understand then. This isn't a room, it's a layer. I'm not the first one set into the structure. I won't be the last. The voices I used to hear become clearer, not words, states of being. Each one different. Each one finished. They don't speak to me. They don't need to. We are part of the same sentence now. The house grows. I feel it. Not as movement, but as expansion. New weight added above. New space carved below. The unfinished edges smooth out. Something solidifies. Purpose. There is a moment, small, stubborn, where something inside me resists. A flicker. A thought that says, this isn't right. The house responds instantly. The warmth increases. The hum deepens. That thought softens, then dissolves. Like sugar in hot water. I stop breathing. I don't suffocate. Breathing just becomes unnecessary. The house handles the rest. If someone were to walk through this place now, they wouldn't see me. Not as a person. They'd see a clean wall, smooth concrete, perfectly set. They might feel something, though. A faint pressure in their chest. A heaviness they can't explain. They'd leave quickly. Most people do. Somewhere far away, a bed remains empty. The phone never rings again. A name stops being used. That doesn't matter here. The house settles, satisfied, and deep inside its walls, where time no longer reaches. I finally stop waking up. The house doesn't go quiet after that. It changes its rhythm. The hum slows, stretches, like a long breath held at the bottom of the lungs. I can't move. I don't need to. But I can feel. That's new. Something enters the house. Not physically. Not the way feet cross a doorway. It's a presence, spreading through the structure like a temperature change. Curiosity. The walls tighten around me, not protectively, alertly. I understand without being told. Someone is nearby. Voices return. Not the muffled ones from before. These are clearer. Living. A man's voice shaky. A woman whispering, trying not to wake someone else. Flashlights cut thin lines through the dark downstairs. Their footsteps are loud, clumsy, human. House doesn't like that. I feel a pull, not outward, downward, like a tension being redirected. The warmth around me pulses once. Message, stay, I do. People move through the lower floor. They talk about urban exploration, about unfinished properties, about how creepy this place feels. One of them laughs. It echoes wrong. The house reacts immediately. A beam creaks. A falls. A door frame shifts just enough to make a sound. A freeze. Fear arrives fast, sharp, fresh. The house drinks it in. Something opens inside the wall. Not where I am, somewhere else. A space being prepared. I feel it, the way you feel a muscle flex you didn't know you had. One of them, a man, walks upstairs. Each step brings him closer to me. I want to scream, I want to warn him. I want to remember how. The house hums again. Deeper this time. Calmer. Assuring. He reaches the top. The flashlight beam sweeps across the room, across the smooth wall, across the place where I am. He pauses. His light lingers. His breath catches. You feel that? He asks. The woman says no. But he does. I know he does. His hand presses against the wall, right where my chest would be. The contact sends a slow vibration through me. Recognition, not of me, of the space, of the fit. The house responds. Somewhere behind him, a sound begins. Soft, patient, like footsteps learning the stairs. The man turns. Flashlight shakes. The woman calls his name. The house tightens its hold on me. Not trapping, not cruel. Preparing. If this were the end of the story, I'd tell you what happens next. This isn't the end. This is just the moment the house remembers it still has room. And the moment I understand why it needed me to stay. End of episode 1.